Hi, I'm Sally Graddon. I'm a life coach and I help unhappy professionals reclaim their lives. I wanted to share my story with you today because 8 years ago I took one of the easiest and one of the hardest decisions of my life to leave my medical career. I had come to the realization that I wasn't happy. In fact, I was depressed and was making myself miserable trying to live up to this expectation that I had of myself and other people had of me. And at the time I felt very, very alone. I felt as though nobody in the world understood me. Certainly the people around me found it very hard to understand why on earth I would ever consider giving up something that I'd worked so hard for. On the surface I had it all. I had a great job, a wonderful husband, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't happy. And as I say, at the time I thought that I was the only person who went through this. Nobody around me was looking to leave their jobs and to move on, and I felt lonely. But over time I realised that actually there are an awful lot of people out there in very similar situations to me. Maybe not medicine, maybe they're not doctors, but lawyers or salespeople or anybody who has worked hard to get where they thought they wanted to be. And there are so many of us who have spent most of our lives struggling, working hard, getting our heads down and just doing it and achieving all our goals one after another. And then one day we sit back and we realise actually we don't know what the next step is. Or we realise that we've been trying to be this person that we thought would maybe please our parents, or that was just the right thing to do, and we realise somewhere along the process that we've lost ourselves and we've lost who we really are. And that's really scary. And it's really hard to then admit that, first to ourselves, let alone to anybody else. So I was hoping that by sharing some of my story and where I've come from, that perhaps it will help inspire other people to make the changes that they desperately need in their lives. And I'm not going to say it's an easy change, because it isn't, but it can be done, and the rewards are immense. When I was very, very little, my grandparents, my dad's parents, lived with us. They were elderly, they were unwell, and we had nurses come in fairly frequently to look after them. And I don't know how old I was, but I was very, very little, toddler. And I decided that I wanted to be a nurse. And I told my parents this, my mum in particular, and I think it was encouraged, and it was something that was, respectable and great. So I've more recently found out actually that my mum encouraged me to be a doctor rather than a nurse. Better pay, more respect. It's more options, and it was seen as a good, solid career choice. And so it was nurtured. That's the thing that I'd said I wanted to do when I was really, really tiny, was nurtured and developed and encouraged. And from that point on, all I wanted to do, all I wanted to be, was a doctor. And I spent all of my time preparing myself for it. And whenever anybody asked, "Oh, what do you want to be, Sally?" I said I wanted to be a doctor, because, well, everybody, I got such a good reaction from everybody whenever I said that. I got these, "Oh yes, that's wonderful, that's brilliant," and so it felt good having that approval, and so I followed it. And that's what I set my sights on. So next time I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. I want to keep this video short so that you have time. I know we're all busy, so I will post another video about the next stages and take you through it. But if you'd like to find out more about me, then hop over to my website. It's www.sallygraden.com, and I'd love to hear your story. So do post it in the comments below, because stories make the world go round, and I love stories and I love hearing about people in their lives. So it'd be great to hear from you. Bye-bye.